Hey guys, welcome back to Arry The Stag. TR Tony here, sat in the garage. This week I just wanted to say a big shout out and a big thank you to a guy called Gary Jones, who commented on last week's video that we put out, and namely the fact that it was the Anglia Car Auctions auction on the 5th and 6th of November, so kind of last weekend, which I'd missed, I'd forgotten all about, and it was really good to check out the website and see what's what. He was enthusing about an absolute bargain one of his mates picked up. It was a Triumph. There are a couple of Stags there as well. Let's just go over and have a look on the website. I'll just talk you through some of the cars that were up for sale. It's a big auction, and specifically one or two of the Triumphs as well.
Okay, so landing on the Anglia Car Auctions website, just to report from last weekend, 5th and 6th of November, they actually sold 203 vehicles and a further 8 on the Monday following the auction. As they say here, bringing the total to 211 out of 245 cars. That's an 86% success rate, which is pretty amazing, really. Plus a number of motorcycles, and also they had a Chris Rea artwork auction as well from his La Passion series, and they were sold as well. So some 68 original artworks, which is really good to see. So excellent to see such success, such a buzz, they report, from last weekend. And I'll just dive in and just have a quick review of some of the cars that went. Now, there were many diverse and interesting vehicles, as you can see here. The 1989 Adulator 6-wheel. Not heard of one of those. Looks like it's a Mercedes originally branded, so that's kind of quite interesting. Alfa Romeo Giulietta Sprint, left-hand drive, estimate 6 to 8,000. Result was 6,480. And interestingly enough, we'll look at some Triumphs later on in a filter I'll apply in just a bit. But the beautiful Aston Martin Virage Volante wide body auto, estimate 65 to 80,000. That's still available for sale by the looks of that website update. Austin 800 weight van, result £15,120. That's kind of quite an interesting sale price. 1970, guide was 8 to 10, so someone's done extremely well there with a really good example. A brace and a set, if that's the right word, a plethora even of Minis and Austin Morrises, some of them new, some of them old, some of them looking like they need a little bit of repair, and good kind of fettling, which is understandable, and you can see the different types here. I love the Bentley Continental GTCs. For me, that's a modern day classic. 2007, estimate 20 to 24, went for 21.6, which was really good to see how the buoyant classic car market is still up there and going fine. Some newer classics there. There's a Daihatsu 4-track, Citroen Saxo. It's interesting how some of the more recent cars are now becoming classics. There's a Daimler V8 Auto there, 250, and all the prices I'm sure you can check out on the website. They've Anglia Car Auctions have also got a couple of videos on the YouTube channel. You can check that out there and see exactly live what they went for under the hammer by car. But given there's so many hundreds of cars, this is just a quick resume of what's happened. These Ford Escorts were company cars, and this one here, not an RS, but were company cars of mine many years ago. Nice to see they've survived. 2000 here, year 2000 went for 3,348. The RS Turbo, an iconic car, 22,680, as well as the 2-litre Cosy 1973, 23,220 for that one. And some lovely cars here from the recent and maybe a little bit more distant past. Sierra Sapphire Cosy there, 18,360, and so on and so forth. So Honda Prelude, little Heinkel cabin cruiser look, really, really good. Jaguar 420, I think Alan might have had one of those, our welder, a while. Interestingly to see E-Type. So I noticed recently E-Type, this is a Series 3 5.3 V12 Roadster, 58,860, still commanding a good price, and that's interesting. This one here, 68 E-Type Series 1 4.2 Roadster, 59,400 sold for. So there's some good prices out there, but equally there's some good values as well, which I think now is still a good time to be investing and buying a classic car, whether you're going to enjoy it or move it on in time, entirely up to the owner's choice of call. These are modern day classics in my view. The Jaguar XK Coupe, this one sold for 4,536, no reserve. And again, provenances and details I'm sure you can fast track on the website if you're interested in any one of them to see exactly the history and what happened. R107 Mercedes, I love these cars. £8,000 just shy off. That's a good deal for an R107 350 SL Auto. And I bumped into a lady just the other day, actually. This was my first venture into Mercedes. I had a 230E, this is a 280 Elegance, and mine was an Elegance. Result 1360. It's a lot of car for the money. I know it's 24 years old, but nevertheless, these cars go on and on. And some lovely looking motors there, I must say. The MG-A for me is a iconic car. I love that look and style of car. Some good prices there. 15,336 got you that 1961 MGA coupe there, same age as me, 61 years. And so interesting. Arry himself, as you know, the Triumph Stag support vehicle has a MGB GT. There's a couple of choice ones there. This one's still available, 1975 for £4,000 to £5,000, still on the books. And I'm assured that you can actually get in touch with them again if you want and make contact. Again here, some more in this case, the Mori Miners and Traveller as well as van and various other vehicles as well. This is interesting. Opel GT left-hand drive. Looks kind of almost a bit kind of Stingray, doesn't it? Esque in some ways. Again, opposite a Peugeot 205 from 1990 with some nice looking Porsches and various flavours of Range Rover and other such cars, various Renaults. There we have a Rovers as well, P6 Rovers and a P4 there. Look, went for £860. No doubt a bit of a project, but certainly salvageable and useful. I love these Sunbeam Alpines. They're quite pretty cars, especially with a convertible roof. 6,480 that one went for. And then we get into some Triumphs. I'll come back to Triumph in just a second because I've done a little bit more about that. TVRs, a good brace of TVRs there, 2000, 1978 version, plus the Vanden Plas, which were upmarket versions of other cars out there. Vauxhall Victor, FB Super, and then you get into your VW kind of motors as well, including a Devon camper there, look, which still is available for spring. If anybody wants a Volkswagen Devon camper, 20 to 24 grand is the guide price for that, as well as some tasty GTIs, T2 Bay camper there, and some Volvos. I love the Amazon 122S here, the coupe, sold for just about on the money, 8,856. And then we're into some tractors and Wolseley's and whatever, and some motorbikes as well, which is all great. Okay, so there you go. That's a good breakdown of some of the cars there. I'll just jump into the Triumph section now and show you what Triumph sold, and we can go from there. Now, as we know, we are a Triumph-based channel. Arry The Stag is predominantly about Triumph Stags, but equally we love other as well. Here's on the market a Triumph 2000 Saloon, a garage find from 1975, sold for 3,000 or just over. Looks to be in reasonable condition and certainly restorable. Couple of Triumph Heralds there, 1200 convertible and a 1200 Saloon, which is actually my very first car that I learned to drive on and actually passed my test in 1979, 100,000 million years ago. Mine was in Valencia Blue. This one is in two-tone green, and a solid car altogether, and sold for £860. Really interesting pricing. Looking at a couple of the Triumphs here, there's a 1500 convertible, 6,048 went for, and then a couple of Triumph Stags here, one for guide price between 3.5 and 4.5, but went for 5,724, lot 574. I know that had been restored fairly recently, and this one was for restoration, but look at the price there, guys. A 1974 Triumph Stag Auto in green, sold for £1,160. I know it was a complete car, but interesting just to see what you can get for your money these days, and encourage you to check out all these auction sites to see what I know we're at the end of the season. You could argue we've got the NEC Classic Car Show coming up at the weekend, and spring will be around in due course after Christmas. But what a good time to be buying a decent Triumph for a restoration project. Horses for courses, do what you like, but interesting that these cars are out there, and definitely worthwhile having a good look.
All right, guys, so hope you enjoyed that. Really interesting breakdown of all the different cars. Gary, if you're out there, I'm really interested to talk to your mate, maybe meet with you and just see what this Triumph Herald was. It looked absolutely a really good bargain, I must say. A complete car, obviously needed some work, but really interested in finding that out. So get in touch, please, and we'll see if we can do some coverage on the channel. Meanwhile, don't forget to sign up for our Saturday sockets on a Saturday and order your badge of honour. Big sign behind me, but it's a miniature size, tax size sticker that goes on your car anywhere in the world free of charge. So get in touch regarding that. And that's it for this week. Hope you had a great week wherever you are. Be safe, and we'll see you online on Arry the Stag very soon. Cheers for now. All the best. Bye.